Can you hear me?
Yes.
You good?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. I don't like this mic. All right. So, vibe check next. How's everyone feeling today? Yay, nay, how you feeling? You good? All right.
Yeah.
So glad that you're enjoying this convention and also being here to be part of this talk. It's a pleasure again having you here, and it's also a way for me to talk about my experience that happened say a year ago at a time like this. So next, just a little bit about me. I'm Titus Kariuki, and I'm the current Region 6 Secretary of NSBE. So I have a little bit of NSBE experience on my back. Last year was my chapter's vice president, University of Washington, go Dawes. After which I became the regional telecoms chair, also on my board, which is kind of crazy because we were talking about a board of 5 people out of say 20 people over there. So that was kind of hectic, but made it. And then some of y'all know this. I like crowning myself as the goat of NSBE just because, again, NSBE has brought me up from a place where I didn't even know it was possible to now, speaking in front of folks, to now presenting conferences, talking to people, all that stuff. So that's kind of the reason why I pronounced myself that way. And also, I'm a new kind of business analyst at the Bank of New York Mellon, which is going to have me moved to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, effective this summer. And we can go on just a little bit more about me. So, natively, I'm Kenyan. I speak 4 languages. And next, playing chess, playing the piano, just trying to pass time, all that stuff in a good way. Being creative, nurturing my musical potential, if you can see it. And these are some of my interests over here. So I'm somebody interested in, say, tech, finance, investing, personal development, and growth. So if there's something that rings with your bell, then feel free to hit me up after the session. So you're probably wondering. Oh, sorry. Next. You're probably asking myself, or yourself rather, that okay, fine, Titus, you're a business analyst, you're in Wall Street, but could you talk about how you got there? Where did it all start? So it all started last year, time like this. Next. Next again. So this is pretty much the backstory where I started in math after transferred to University of Washington in computer science. And after which I thought, oh, math was gonna be easy peasy, lemon squeezy, I thought, oh, this was gonna be a good breeze until I thought, well, math is kind of like a life of its own, right? So it's gonna be a crazy ride and I'm not in for it. So it was kind of shocking in that way. Go on. And so you have this track of reality hitting me where, classes are hard, I'm not getting any content, I'm not getting whatever I'm supposed to get, right? And it gets insanely weird because you're starting to get attacked with, oh, imposter syndrome, oh, I'm not a genius I thought it was, oh, I'm not getting any of this piece, As a result of that, I just have my grades plummeting, right? So I had, say, for example, 3.0, 2.8, 2.5, to blah, 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 to the bottom, right? Which, in investment terms, we call a falling knife, just because you don't want to catch investors falling unless you're going to cut yourself, correct? Next. And here we have the mother of all else. So this is what y'all came for. This was the life-changing era, which, even when I'm speaking right now, is kind of earth-shaking in that sense. So you can see over here, that class which I highlighted over there, that's the one that, made me, okay, 1.2, that's where you are. And it's crazy, it sucks. And you wanna know what's an added insult to injury? Next. Any volunteer wanna read? Anybody wanna read?
Emails notify you for a second quarter, you don't meet the department's satisfactory progress continuation policy during winter quarter 2022. You have been placed on probation status and will have a registration hold effective Wednesday, April 13th, 2022. If you fail to meet satisfactory progress policy in current or future quarter, you will be placed on dismissal status.
Next. So think about it just for 1 sec. Next. So there's me. I'm this close, like this close to graduating. And then again, everybody knows I'm graduating this year. My family, my friends, my acquaintances, they all know, hey, Titus is gonna graduate this fall. But again, 1.2 comes in the way, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, what am I gonna tell folks, right? Like you hit the bar so high, you don't know how you're gonna come back for that. Like just imagine that embarrassment you're gonna feel. Imagine that syndrome that you're gonna feel internally, correct? And the worst case is you have nowhere else to go. I don't know about y'all schools, but at my time, say I hit 169 credits when this thing happened, right? And if you're dismissed from your major and you're hitting credits close to graduating, you're just expelled from school completely, right? So you gotta be in a major to, get your full credit load. So I'm like, I'm getting my credits, but this 1.2 is bombing my GPA, and I don't have no chances left. So if I mess things up, I'm leaving University of Washington. I'm dropping out of school, Just think about it, But we'll put a pause on that for now. So pause on that. And we'll talk about one of the themes related to this convention, which is managing wellness. So how this ties into managing wellness, you might be asking, okay, what is it? Why is it? First off, I have to take care of myself first. Like, there's gonna be a lot of instances in life that are gonna beat you down, they're gonna hammer you to the floor. And our human tendency has us, say, striking ourselves or accusing ourselves of something we can't even control, right? So because of that, what's happening? We just have to take care of ourselves first, say, oh, I can do it. I know, I feel, I took this L right now, and that's okay. I have to, master my self-awareness. And it's actually because of this experience that I got started playing chess. Because chess personally makes me become more self-aware. It helps me know of my capabilities, per se. And after which, another lesson I learned is, it's okay to fail, right? It's okay to take that L. What's not okay is staying there where it should not stay. Don't stay a failure permanently, right? Because again, what's your essence in life, see? And it also helped me be a little bit more vulnerable. Like, actually open myself up to help. Asking folks, hey, bro, I have no idea what I'm doing. Yes, I'm in a lot of these things, but deep down, I'm crying. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do to overcome this. So I'm just laying myself out there, somebody help me. God, if you're hearing me right now, hear me, because I need a graduate school. Get it? And it kind of reminds me of something this famous speaker says, Simon Sinek. He mentioned that when you're vulnerable to the right people, you'll be shocked and surprised to see how many people are actually gonna come into your way to help you out. So vulnerability with the right people, with the people you know are gonna pay you off, that goes a long way. And then, lastly, again, grades and the bigger scope of things, don't really matter as such. What matters is your character, right? Say you're gonna fall, you're gonna fail. What matters is picking yourself right back up. Build that character, build that resilience, build that thing saying that, hey, I'm at work. I know that I'm not doing good at this job, but I know if I persist, if I take 1, 2, 3 pieces of feedback, I'm gonna work myself. Like the previous speaker said, we're not perfect, right? Even NSBE itself is not perfect. But what are we doing? Making progress, making our character, right? Doing 1, 2, 3 things that are gonna make us better today than yesterday. So that's all about managing wellness, and that's pretty much what I incorporated to my study strategy. Next. So what happened after? First of all, I had to take a step back and go back to the first principles. say, okay, Titus, this is what you want to do. This is, at that time, like say, when I'm starting college as say a freshman, I'm like, yeah, I want to get a 4.0, I want to get a good GPA, right? 3 years later, bro, I just want to graduate college, right? I don't care whatever I get, I just want to finish ASAP. I know a lot of y'all do this, correct? After this, I had to reach out to the folks who I know can provide me good tutoring, good help for my academic, right? And of course, some tutors, YouTube as well, Young Gen Z today check, because that's a resource as well. And I'd like to give a special shout out to actually these folks on the next slide. Yeah, it's our University of Washington Instruction Center. And they're the kind of folks I say, were it not for me, then I actually wouldn't even be given this talk here in the first place. See? I have a special shout out to that. You probably might not see him, but there's this guy. You see a white guy with a cap on. Now you see the guy behind it, right? So that's actually the person my favorite tutor. He's called Brian from the Instruction Center, and he's been there for like say 40 years. And it just so happened that, not only did he help me pick my grades up, but he also has been there. Like he's kind of like a smart cookie who say, okay, Titus, you gotta do A, B, C. You gotta strategize B, C, D, F, all that. And when I graduated with last quarter, he actually retired. So it's kind of like saying, wow, things just came together. Like they just meshed, like how the universe works and stuff, all that. Which I kind of feel like, yeah. So I'm graduating, he helped me graduate, he's moving on. So you can imagine that cordial ending. And now straight to my thought process while I'm excavating this whole weird experience is, like Slim Shady says, you only got one shot. You gotta be extra strategic, right? You gotta be, really self-aware to know, okay, you can do A, B, C, but you can't go beyond that, right? Unless you're gonna plunge deep in a pool of whatever, unsuccess, correct? And then, like I just said, I had aspirations for say 3.8, 3.9, but eventually anything with a 2.0 is good. Like I just want to be done ASAP, right? And I just want to like get through to the next part of life. And then, the last two, just fight to the end. Again, build your character, build your spirit, build the resilience that you need to actually move on to the next step. And if you fail, again, don't stay a failure. Just try again. Like keep trying, because eventually you're gonna make it. And I applied all these principles now to the next slide. You're probably curious to see how that happened. So this is spring, the quarter after, and you see not really much improvement, but still a good improvement rather from those two classes. GPA from 1.2 to 2.65. Summer? GPA? Right?
Is this cumulative?
For no, that quarter,
Oh, that thing.
right? And then next slide, now last quarter, fall. And then now to close it all up, I graduated 2 quarters ago, back in fall 2021, and this is what I did. And because of math major, just because showing the graph how I come out, Again, I'm not gonna speak to this. I just let the numbers speak for themselves. And where are my next steps? Next. So I'll be an incoming business analyst at the Bank of New York, Mellon. I got this job back in fall 22, the same quarter I graduated. After which, they took me in, they said, Titus, you fit everything. We like your progress, we like your upbringing and all that, and we'd like to invite you to, work with us starting this coming fall. So, personally, haven't finessed this career for yet. I might probably make it for the last 15 minutes, but still, when I reflect back into my journey, I feel like, honestly, none of this would be possible without, being vulnerable again, without knowing the right people, the right resources, without, like I was saying, NSBETalk. Because, when you fall back, you have a whole community to fall back on, and they're gonna push you up, right? Which is why, again, I love to shout out NSBE wherever I go. When I say NSBE changed my life, like for real, it really did. Brought me from my lowest moments up high, you know, helped me in my studies after, helped me, you know, get onto podcasts, did some interviews, and now, because of NSBE, I'm headed to Wall Street. And because of that, next. Thanks. Anybody got 1, 2 questions? Yes.
I just need two pieces of information two pieces of data from you as you were speaking. What was your cumulative when you got, for the quarter, when you got the 1.5, 1 point,
1.2.
1.2?
that was the quarter.
Right, the quarter.
What was the cumulative?
Cumulative?
Yes.
It was
That's-
possibly, I think,
Excuse the, no, your
Right.
last number.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I think, what was it? I think it was probably a 2.6 or 2.7, something like that. So before that, now after that, what happened is, yeah, it was probably 2.7 before,
Yeah, it was.
after it came to 2.4, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody question?
Yeah, I have a question. Yeah, so you majored in mathematics.
Right,
Yeah, so what was your favorite math course?
that's good questions. I'm thinking about in university and also college, so let me try to remember. I would say Calc 4, multivariable calculus. So it's kind of like calculus, but in 3D in that sense. And I like how you relate all 3 calc classes. Say, like you had Calc 1 derivatives, you had Calc 2 integrals, and then now you're applying them in a 3D format, which I thought was kind of beautiful. Any more questions? All right, last question. So that's a good question. So I chose math because I actually wanted to transfer to computer science in my school, but unfortunately, what happened is I didn't get in per se. So and computer science at University of Washington, you know, is extremely hard. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna settle in math for 2 reasons. One is because it's my second favorite subject, and 2 because I just like playing with numbers. So I settled with math, still staying STEM, not leave STEM exactly, which summarizes the question. Yeah. Thanks for listening.